Alright, welcome back, bag makers. In today's video I wanted to show you 3 ways to finish your bag strap ends or handles. For the demonstration purposes, I am just using 3 small scrap pieces here rather than 3 complete handles or straps. What I am doing here is I'm beginning by folding the fabric in half. Then I open it back up, fold in those long raw edges to meet that center fold, and fold it one more time and give it a press with the iron. And for this pink strap here, I'm going to do a little bit of a different technique that you may not have seen before. Rather than folding those raw edges in towards the center, I'm kind of flipping it reverse and clipping it into place. And for the moment, I'm going to go ahead and set this one aside. Continue folding the other 2 straps just like I did, folding the center in, pressing it with an iron. Folding in those long raw edges to meet the middle. And on this particular one, I am just going ahead and trimming off those 2 corners. That's going to reduce the bulk when I do my folds. I am also folding in that 1/2 inch of quilting cotton fabric that I did not put interfacing on. I'm folding that raw edge down, folding everything back in towards the center, and I'm going to go ahead and clip that into place and set that aside until I sew it later on. And for this last strap, I have gone ahead and drawn a line down the center of this vinyl. I'm using some double-sided tape here so that I can go ahead and fold these over and get them secured into place instead of using clips and trying to fight with that to keep it into place. So I've placed my tape, and now I'm just removing the other side of the tape backing. And I'm going to begin folding here to the center line. And I keep this just a little bit away from the line. I'm working with some rather thick vinyl here, so I'm trying to eliminate that extra bulk in the very, very center once I do that final fold right here. And then I'm just clipping this into place. And what we're going to do in a moment is we're going to go over to the sewing machine. And I'm going to begin by top stitching the left and the right side at a 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. I always begin sewing the open side first, making sure to back stitch in the beginning and the end. And for this demonstration, I'm just using some white thread for the upper looper, and for the bobbin I'm using black thread. That's why there's just different colors, just to show you the difference. I've repeated that process for the second strap now. Now this one is where it's a little bit different. We are going to go ahead and sew right here at that top short raw edge at a 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. Once I've done that, what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to just snip off a little portion of both of those corners. That's going to help reduce the bulk whenever I turn this right side out. So I'm doing that right here. Sorry, you can't quite see it on camera. Just snipping those little corners off there. And then I'm going to turn it right side out and use my scissors or any kind of blunt end to poke out those corners nicely. And now I'm going to go ahead, just like I did previously on the other 2, top stitch at an 1/8 of an inch seam allowance down the left and the right side. Now it's time to go ahead and add our swivel clasp to the end of our straps. For this particular demonstration, we're just showing you one end, but essentially this is going to be done for both ends of your strap. Go ahead and fold that over about 1.5 inches to 2 inches. You can use your sewing machine to sew a box or a square. I like to add an X in the middle of that square to give it some added security. Another way that you can go ahead and secure the hardware to the strap is to use 1 to 2 rivets. I like to generally use 2 rivets, just gives that extra backup there. And I'd rather add rivets than try to sew through all those layers of fabric. Now with this last one here, with the vinyl, I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing, fold it over about 1.5 inches to 2 inches. But for this, I'm going to finish off that raw end with a metal strap end. You basically just push that over the end. There's a couple of screws that you need to go ahead and put into place. And since this is very thick vinyl, what I would do if I was working with this is I would definitely use the rivets here. So that is 3 different ways that you can finish your strap ends or your purse handles. Thank you so much for watching.